It was the 21st of June 2017. Doing what I normally do with Dad, we go and feed the cattle on another block on a Wednesday morning. I was on the back and Dad took off, probably a little bit quicker than normal maybe. Lost my footing and had to make a decision whether to jump or try and hang there. And as the bale went, part of the bale went, I went with it. Hit the deck pretty hard, broke my right ankle, both bones protruding through the skin. We rang the ambulance. That seemed to take forever. They ended up having to get one from Millicent, which was 3/4 of an hour, into the Mount Hospital.
I received a phone call from the emergency department at the hospital to say Emery was down there, everything was okay. And I thought, oh, he's feeding out hay today with his dad, something must have happened to his dad. When I walked into the room and his knee was pointing one way and his foot was pointing the other way, and there was a big pad that had some blood on it, I'm thinking this is not what I'd imagined in my head that I was going to be faced with when I walked into the room.
Operation late that afternoon, told very bad break. I was there for close to 2 weeks and I started to get a bit of discoloration in my foot, and Saturday the 8th of July we were airlifted to Adelaide. And what had happened, because of the bone where it had come through, there'd been quite a few veins knocked around and the circulation in the foot wasn't good. Loretta and I spoke about it. We said, if they get in there and it is no good, let's take the leg off and go down the path of recovery a lot quicker. And that was a pretty hard week. You think about your business and everything else, a lot of things going through your mind. And with the family and everything else, we started to get better and better day by day.
And then when he went back up for his rehab, we were up there that first week because, well, we all wanted to see him walk again. So getting out of the wheelchair and walking again, which we knew that he could do it, but until you're actually up and it's like, oh, how's that actually hold you up? And then you stop and think, oh, well, the Pirates got around with just a peg leg back in the day and they managed to walk and get around. So these days with modern technology, just getting up and getting going, and it was another step closer to getting back to a normal life, I suppose.
It was the best feeling to come out of there walking, and on crutches, but walking, getting on with it myself and having a go. That was the main thing. The one thing I learned, if you're prepared to help yourself a bit, people really help you. When it first happened that first week, you think, geez, you're going to be useless, let's sell up. But here I am, pretty well nearly doing what I used to do. Working normal hours, enjoying what I do, and that's farming.
Met the first claims manager because he visited Emery in the hospital before he come back from Adelaide. That was probably the hard part, you know, you got to go to Adelaide and find some accommodation, and we don't have any family up there, so it's, you know, finding somewhere to stay and more out-of-pocket expenses all the time. So like, where's that money going to come from? And that was quite difficult, but we were lucky in the fact that even if Emery wasn't staying with us, like, we could get some of that reimbursed, particularly in the early days. We were there as Emery support, we weren't there having a holiday. Like, our days were spent either at the rehab or at the hospital.
Once I got my car licence back, well, then I started poking around doing a bit. We started liaising with my case manager, and I did stuff that I knew I could do, simple stuff, driving around checking stock. Every now and again I'd jump in the harvester for the boys to give them a break, and then eventually I got to the end where I went back full time doing what I do. Having to go through all that stuff to get your licence back was pretty hard work. I think the whole system's too hard. I'd only lost my leg, not my head and my arms, but overall you might as well ride off a year to get all those licences back. I drive every vehicle that I've got, every tractor, with no modifications at all, and very confident that I can drive good with my leg. I know you haven't got any feeling there, but you can feel what's going on. So I had no trouble whatsoever with that.
Emery's a very positive person and he just gets on with it, and that's the way it is. I suppose we were always at the mindset that there's always someone worse off, and a lot of people say, yeah, but that doesn't affect you. Well, no, it doesn't, but if someone else can do it, well, you can do it too.